Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers QB coach Tom Arth speaks out on QB Justin Fields. Signal caller Justin Fields may still sit at number 2 on the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback depth chart. But that doesn't mean he isn't making progress. In fact, with a fresh emphasis on his footwork, Fields is making tremendous progress according to the Steelers coaching staff. He's really focused so much energy and attention on his footwork in the pocket, playing with a base, working through progressions quickly, being accurate with the ball in the pocket, all of those things you really see, Steelers quarterbacks coach Tom Arth said, via ESPN's Brooke Pryor. You kind of saw him starting to take shape in OTAs and minicamp, but these last couple of weeks have been so impressive to me to really see his growth and development as a quarterback. Fields put that progress on display during 3 drives in Week 1 of the preseason. He completed 5 of 6 passes for 67 yards. As Arth detailed, Fields has focused a lot of attention on his footwork. The Steelers are electing to have the 25-year-old change which foot he has in front of his body while lined up in the shotgun formation. But this isn't an example of the Steelers forcing Fields to do something the organization wants him to do. Pittsburgh's coaches are having Fields put his right foot forward in shotgun because that's what he did in college before the Chicago Bears switched his stance to his left foot forward. It was also a change that Fields decided himself. They didn't really care too much about footwork or that my left foot was up, right foot was up, Fields said, via Pryor. They just said to me, just close your eyes and whatever's most comfortable to you, do that. So that's what I did, and it was right foot forward, which makes sense. I've been doing it my whole life. With his right foot forward, Fields was a Heisman Trophy candidate at Ohio State. He averaged 9.3 yards per pass with 63 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in 22 games with the Buckeyes. Fields began lining up with his left foot forward in shotgun in 2022. That's when head coach Matt Eberflus and offensive coordinator Luke Getsy arrived in Chicago. It seems like every time with the left foot forward, it was always a slight hesitation or a thought to what he was doing just because he wasn't so comfortable with what he was doing because he was so used to having his right foot forward, Fields quarterback trainer Oliver Bozeman told Pryor. In addition to Arth, Fields has wowed social media users with highlight reel plays from Steelers training camp. His preseason Week 1 passing stat line also could have been a perfect 6.46 if Van Jefferson had stayed in bounds on Fields' lone incompletion. However, big mistakes from Fields hurt the Steelers' offense against the Houston Texans. He failed to secure the snap from the center twice. Fields also took sacks on 2 different third-down attempts. As a result, all 3 of his drives ended in Steelers punts. I thought and we did some good things, but it was just dulled by some of the negativity, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin told reporters in his post-game press conference. But from a rhythm passing standpoint, distributing the ball to people, I thought he and Kyle Allen did a nice job. That's not really much different from his tenure in Chicago. Fields produced plenty of highlight reel plays with the Bears, but then often took a sack or fumbled to negate the positives. The next step in Fields' development is minimizing those big mistakes. Mike Tomlin's Russell Wilson announcement has Steelers fans going bonkers. Fans will get to see Russell Wilson taking in-game snaps for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the first time this weekend. Head coach Mike Tomlin revealed that the Super Bowl-winning quarterback and big offseason addition is going to be a participant in Saturday's preseason game versus the Buffalo Bills. Assuming Wilson does not re-aggravate the calf injury he suffered last month, he will be in action. Normally, there is no need to trot out a 35-year-old QB until the 3rd week of preseason play, but there are special circumstances in Pittsburgh. Although Wilson is number 1 on the depth chart, Justin Fields could realistically win the starting job at some point. Therefore, Tomlin probably wants to make sure that Wilson is able to log a series or 2 before the regular season begins. Steeler Nation is sharing their opinions on this decision, as opening kickoff draws ever so closer. Because it is risky to slot a veteran in an exhibition matchup, some people are expressing skepticism regarding the move. He's 35, why is he playing in the preseason? Sports Arena TZ posted on X, formerly Twitter. Wilson is new to the offense and will thus need to stay healthy in order to give the Steelers a fair chance at quickly building chemistry. Others are feeling optimistic about the 9-time Pro Bowler playing against the Bills. He's finally Mr. Unlimited again, one person said. Some fans are taking things even further, hinting at the resurgence of Russell Wilson. This is gonna be different, another posted. A small sample size in a preseason game cannot accurately foretell a bounce-back season, but it can show fans that he is feeling comfortable in his new NFL home. An ugly end with the Denver Broncos severely obscured what was actually a solid 2023-24 campaign for number 3. Wilson threw for 3,070 yards and 26 touchdowns, while completing 66.4% of his passes and tossing just 8 interceptions in 15 games. Theoretically, he should post comparable, if not better stats with the Steelers. George Pickens is an electric wide receiver who has Pro Bowl upside, 1,140 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns last season. Wilson might be the experienced signal caller who can unlock his full potential. Fans might want to temper their expectations until they see how this union unfolds during the upcoming season. An impressive series on Saturday night might make that a tad tougher to do, however. Steelers should turn their attention to landing Cowboys' Ceedee Lamb. Over the past couple of decades, you would find it very difficult to find an NFL team that's been more successful than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They haven't had a losing season since 2003, which is easily the longest active streak in the league. However, Pittsburgh isn't perfect, and there are a couple of weaknesses on their roster. One of those is at the wide receiver position. It's not as if the Steelers don't have talent, as George Pickens turned in an incredible sophomore campaign. However, aside from him, there's a severe lack of proven entities. The Steelers also have 2 quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, who have struggled in recent years, so it would make sense to give them another quality option to throw the ball to. Coincidentally, there's a star receiver out there who could potentially be looking for a new team soon, and his name is Ceedee Lamb. Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones have found it difficult to find common ground during their contract talks recently, while the same could be said for the Steelers' attempts to wrangle another disgruntled All-Pro WR, Brandon Ayuk, from the San Francisco 49ers. With that in mind, a pairing between Lamb and the Steelers could make sense. Here's why Pittsburgh should pursue it. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Ceedee Lamb? Leave your opinion in the comments.